So what I'd do if I was 35, South Asian, earning 200K and getting fat. Now, you're 35, you worked hard to hit that $200,000 salary, but your old genes just don't fit. Your energy is crashing in the afternoons, and the yearly checkup shows rising blood glucose and triglycerides. And you tell yourself, I'll sort it out when work slows down. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many South Asian men in this exact position suffer their first heart attack before 45. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do to turn things around without quitting your job or spending hours in the gym. So in case you're new here, I'm Jit. I'm a biomedical science graduate and soon to be medical student. And through the South Asian Health Lab, I help busy professionals understand the science of health and take practical steps to avoid the silent risks that affect our community. So why this matters to you? Now, if you're 35 and you've started to gain weight, it's not just about looks. By this age, your metabolism naturally slows, muscle mass starts to decline, and insulin sensitivity creeps up. Now, add long hours at the desk, client dinners, stress, late night screen time, and you have a perfect recipe for high blood pressure, rising triglycerides, and belly fat. For South Asians, this is especially dangerous, and we often store fat around our organs. This is the so-called TOFI pattern, the thin outside, fat inside, which raises risk for heart disease, even if you're not visibly obese. And the clock is ticking. Waiting another 5 years could mean prediabetes, a heart scare, or worse. So why does this happen? Now, let's be honest. It's not just a lack of willpower. Work demands 10-hour days, deadlines, and business travel. And convenience food, such as restaurant curries, takeaway biryanis, refined carbs, and seed oils, can affect us negatively. Late nights where you answer emails or scroll at midnight, then wake up groggy. Chronic stress where you have high cortisol and it pushes up blood glucose and belly fat. And add to this the South Asian biology, the more visceral fat, the high LPA, the lower average muscle mass, and you see why the risk builds quickly even in people who look fine. So what is the reset framework? So the first framework is your food quality. Now, food is arguably the biggest lever. And if I were in your shoes, the first change I'd make is to build every meal around a protein source. So fish, chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, lentils. Then add vegetables, then the carbs. I'd cut back on big evening rice or naan portions and replace fried snacks with nuts or fruit. I'd cook more at home using fresh oils like olive, mustard, or moderate amounts of ghee instead of repeatedly heated seed oils in restaurants. And this swaps the lower blood sugar swings, helps preserve muscle and shrink dangerous belly fat. And next, you have to move daily. Now, exercise isn't just about spending 2 hours in the gym. The goal is to build activity into your day. So try and walk or cycle at least 30 minutes a day, or about 7,000 to 10,000 steps. Do 2 resistance workouts a week at a minimum, and it can be 20-minute sessions at home or in the gym. Take 5 to 10-minute walks for each meal to improve blood sugar control. Regular movement fights insulin resistance and trims visceral fat even before you see the scale drop. So next we'll be talking about sleep and stress. So at 35, what wrecks health isn't just food, it's the grind. The late night work and 5 hours sleep raises cortisol and blood pressure and makes belly fat stick. Now, if I were in your situation, I'd set a hard cutoff time for screens, and ideally an hour before bed. I'd go to bed at a consistent time, aiming for around 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. I'd build in short stress resets, a lunchtime walk, a few minutes of breathing, or even quiet meditation or prayer. Stress and sleep are the hidden levers for heart and metabolic health, and you have to know your numbers. You can't manage what you don't measure. So most busy professionals only get a basic cholesterol test, and that's just not enough. If you want to measure a baseline screen, you have to look at your waist to height ratio, your fasting glucose and HbA1c, your triglycerides, your HDL, your ApoB, your LPA, your resting blood pressure, and heart disease. And these markers tell you if you're on track or heading for trouble long before symptoms appear. So your action plan. Now, here's what I'd do in the next 30 days. I'd book a medical checkup and get those tests done. I'd prep 3 high-protein lunches each week so I'm not relying on takeout. I'd block out 2 resistance sessions in my calendar like I would a client meeting, and I would commit to a bedtime routine. So no screens in the last hour and lights out by 11 p.m. No drastic diets, no extreme workouts, just consistent habits that stick up. No drastic diets, no extreme workouts, just consistent habits that stack up. So you've proven you can build a strong career, and now it's time to invest in the body and health that will let you enjoy it. Don't wait for a scare. Start with these 4 levers today so that you can enter your 40s leaner, fitter, and protected against the #1 killer in our community. And let's change the story for South Asians together.